Hello Internet, welcome back to more RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. Now, we did unlock a single new map, which I think is the one we're going to be checking out. I actually saw in a video online that Amity Airfield is, despite being the first thing listed in the challenging parks, they actually believe that it is like the third hardest park in the entire game. So we're not going to be doing that. Bumbly Bazaar, the only reason I'm not doing this one is because it has the same BB as Botany Breakers, which is how I've been titling my videos on my computer, so I don't want to have to put another BB thing down, which is a really dumb reason, but we're going to go with Dusty Greens. Situated near Highway Junction in the desert, Dusty Greens is an opportunity to develop a small golf resort into a thriving theme park. And our goal is to achieve a monthly income from ride tickets of at least $5,000. Now that's half of what we needed to succeed in this or in our last playthrough. However, I mean, yeah, it's just half. I imagine it's gonna take us like a year or so. Should be a nice quick one. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Oh, that desert is pretty ugly though, huh? Let's pause and get a look at our park. Okay. Oh, I don't like this. Okay, so what is this? Oh, mini golf. Oh, okay. See, when it said golf resort, I thought it would be like the whole map would be like a golfing green, and we kind like a country club, and we'd have to work within the boundaries of like the golf resort or something. It actually literally means we have mini golf, and that is it. A little Wild West scenery over here is pretty nice. I do think we want to get rid of the mini golf pretty much as soon as... Oh, and I do not like we have two entrances to our park, and then it's connected by an overhead path. I actually really don't like that. This is going to become a very serious bottleneck. Let's look at our... How do we... Okay, so on a park like this, we can't build over areas that are not part of our park. We actually require special permits for that. Or at least we did. What is this? Land and construction rights. So we don't even have the right to build where we've already built. Allow construction above or below. Okay, we do. So we can build another path through here. This looks like we already have this right. Cannot construct here. So I believe we already own this. So basically we can create a big loop so we're not stuck in this bottleneck, which is really good. So I think we'll hit play. We have 10 grand and we need 5,000 ride income from tickets. I think first and foremost, as usual, we want to get the thrill rides up and running. Let's take a look at what we have. We have a fair selection of coasters as well as these thrill rides. So I do think once again, we're going to focus our research on thrill rides. And you know what? We're in the desert. We'll do water rides as well. Let's check our shop availability. Quite a lot of shops as well, so I don't think shops need to be a priority. I already turned them off. Okay. So my instinct is to... So are we charging for entrance fee? We're not. So we can't charge entrance fee to the park, which once again means we can really jack up the prices on our rides. And once again, I have the ride calculator open on my other screen, so we will be pricing things as optimally as possible. I think what we want to do first and foremost is just pick a side to build on. It looks like this has a little more space, so why don't we save that for when we want to build some coasters, and we'll start plopping down thrill rides and things over here for the time being, just to up our current income a little bit. I'm going to try as much as possible to maintain the scenery that is already placed. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, I don't know that I will, because a lot of this is very large pieces of scenery, and we would have to build around, you know, what is essentially a small town here may actually be a real problem. So why don't we go with some tried and true? The scrambler here will be just fine for us to start. Do we want them... Do we want them on the interior or the exterior? Because basically, where are we going to build the coasters, right? I want to plan more than I did in our previous episodes. Number one, I'm seeing this huge open space. I think this is a great space for a coaster or two small coasters. So I think that that is for sure something we're going to do. Over here, if we start stacking the thrill rides around the exterior, we can build out a loop. And then we can use that central area to build the coaster. But then we're constricted on all sides by rides that we've placed. But if we do it the other way, we're going to experience the same problem because we're going to be limited by the actual boundaries of the park. Whereas if we're building over top of rides that already exist, at least then we can build over top of them. We cannot ever go outside the boundaries of the park unless we pay for the rights to do so. So I think we want the thrill rides on the exterior. So we'll plop down a scrambler. We'll do it. Yep, that's fine. Put the entrance. Now we kind of want to squeeze. We're never going to make use of the space behind it. We should put these as far back to the wall as possible, I think. So we'll put this all the way back at the wall. Put our entrance, put our exit. Turn this on. Great. Number of rotations, sure. Let's build our queue. Once again, we're using dirt paths. I do wish there was a little bit more variety to some of these things. Why don't we actually build this like so? So we have a nice long queue there. Really hate that this is a spoke immediately comes off of our, but that's okay. It's okay. Let's rotate back and let's put down another thrill ride. Why don't we put this at the edge of our base as well? The edge of our park limits as well. Oh, it comes with a station. We're just going to do the pre-made one because it's a little bit easier. Go ahead and test this first because you never know. Oh, that's so high. Okay, well that should be very exciting if nauseating to our guests. So let's rotate and we'll put down the queue. Okay, and we'll do another little curly queue here. And we will go with the dirt path here just to connect. We also should put down some benches immediately, given the severity of that particular... Oh, this is where it dead ends. So I was thinking we could build this all the way around. It's actually blocked by this mini golf. So I think what we will do is remove this mini golf course first, even though that this is the most popular one, it looks like. And this one's not actually getting really anyone to it. I think we will close this mini golf resort and bulldoze a lot of this stuff, which I believe when you bulldoze scenery, it also gives you money back. So that is something that we will benefit from. Put down some bins as well. We're going to hold off for a week or two or a month or two on the handymen just because they are a drain immediately on your resources. Let's check this thing out. We will charge a variable amount for this, so we're not just going to leave this as is. So this is a launched Freefall. I do like that I'm starting to learn the name of the rides, although I don't love that when I look at that other screen, I'm facing directly at the mic, which will probably make me a little too loud. So Nausea 5.63, which is not very good. We could charge $20 for this. Once again, we're going to base this on the 3-year number. So we're just going to make this $13. Jeez. I feel like I legitimately feel bad charging this kind of money for a ride that takes 15 seconds or whatever. Scrambler, we're just going to leave, once again, as is. I don't think we're going to fret over that too much. Let's open this up because this will be a real moneymaker for us. Mini golf, I just don't want you to exist anymore. I'm so sorry. I really like mini golf in real life. I feel genuinely bad about this, but we're going to demolish the mini golf for $1,000. We're going to bulldoze pretty much all of this scenery, which again, I feel pretty terrible about. We'll start putting more scenery around just so it's not this gray landscape of horror, because I feel kind of bad that I've not been... Let's use the bulldoze for this as well. Oh, I'm not... I just realized I don't have any game sound. Let me... There we go. I can hear the children now. Hooray! Kids, get out of the queue. Like, what are you even doing? Get out of here. You stupid, stupid, Stupid child. Like this one. Where did you come from? There, obviously, it's already been closed for several minutes. You should be out of here by now. So we'll go ahead and we'll get rid of all of this, I think, and then we'll just make the path a big swoop, because I think space is at a premium. Kids, why are you going in the queue? There's not a ride here. You have no business being here. I do see that we have a mechanic, which is good, and a handyman there, which is great, because I did not think we really had those things available to us. Kid, just walk back to the path. Why is that so hard for you? Get on the path. Oh my god. Okay, so there's another way we could do this. I recently learned that in the scenery, on the signs, there is a no entry sign somewhere. Maybe we have to unlock it. Jungle sign? Signs and items for footpaths. I've seen in videos online that there are no entry signs, and it prevents kids from going down that particular path. Looks like either that's a mod or I don't currently have access to it. So unfortunately, we can't do that. I was thinking we could place that sign, wait until they all leave. I mean, it wouldn't speed up their leaving, I guess. Okay, so let's continue this dirt path out here, out and about. Nope, cannot paint to save my life. Cannot draw straight lines with a mouse. Don't judge me. Man, this thing is tall, huh? And we will go ahead and throw down, sure, top spin. We'll put all the sick rides over here for kids to get sick on, and we'll put the entrance over here, exit over here. Go ahead and open you up. Again, I'm not going to charge absurd prices for these, you know, unless they're like something really cool that I think like, oh, that's more exciting because blah blah blah. And then we'll check the price. Like this one actually seems like it would be pretty exciting. So like if I go to top spin and oh, it's interesting. It did put in the default values, but it put them in incorrectly. Maybe it's because I don't have scenery and things. 4.8 and 5.74. Man, it's hard to type when you actually can't see your keyboard or anything. Okay, so we could be able to charge about $4. We can increase the price of this just a little bit. We'll make it $3. No, cancel. So why am I playing more RollerCoaster Tycoon when odds are good that if you're watching this, congratulations, you're the only one. Nobody's really very interested. Let's, is there like Wild West, Medieval, Mine, Pagoda? I guess Mine, right? And we'll start putting down some mine scenery here just to make things just logs, huh? Put a couple stacks of logs down there, put a barrel. We even build, it's a little too big. I really hoped that that was smaller. Put some wreckage around here just to spruce things up a little bit. We now have a new ride called the Enterprise, which is interesting. I've never seen or heard of that as far as I know. We'll go with this over here as well. Just random stuff. It's not really like scenery. Jungle theming. I need trees that are like deserty. Don't really have deserty trees. We can put a sprinkler. Sure, we'll put a fountain over here. Hello, kids. Check out our rides. It's like the Bellagio, but terrible. Enterprise. Rotating wheel with suspended passenger pods, which first starts spinning and is then tilted up by a supporting arm. So it's like a Ferris wheel, but cagey and wobbly, is my interpretation of that. Yeah, so I'm playing RollerCoaster Tycoon because, well, one, because I enjoy the game, and I've been having fun with it, and since I've seen videos on YouTube, now YouTube is recommending lots of RCT videos to me, so I thought, why not, you know, have a little fun with it, play a little bit. So that's one thing, and the other aspect is that I'm really struggling right now with what to do with my channel and where to go with my channel, and we're just going to bump this to 250 and assume that it's comfortable enough of a value. Actually, those values do not look terrible. The nausea is extremely high for something that is, you know, a flat ride. We're going to hire four total handyman and an additional mechanic just to kind of nip things in the bud as we begin developing here. And because we have this one path basically that connects around and goes up here, there's really not a lot for them to transit between. So hopefully they maintain our paths and whatnot pretty easily. We're gonna put lots of benches towards the exit of these high tier nausea rides. I am seeing vomit, but not in absurd amount. Why don't we put down a sign? How do we rotate? Rotate the sign. We're gonna call this the Nausea Center. Oh, that's the wrong keyboard. What am I doing? Nausea Center. We'll spell it R-E just because I think RollerCoaster Tycoon was European. I don't think that it was developed in America. So the Nausea Center. And everything back here is stuff that'll make kids a little sick. Yeah, I just don't know what to do with the channel, really. And I'm kind of struggling with... I know what kind of videos I want to make. But I also know that what I want to make has not been getting very much attention from people. And so I've been feeling a little down because the videos I want to make and the videos I enjoy making are being pretty much ignored by the internet. And it's a really not so good feeling to do something, to spend time doing something, because I really like doing YouTube. Like, not even because, like, oh, I could maybe make money one day or something. No, it's because YouTube is a lot of fun. I really enjoy editing videos. I really enjoy making videos. And I want to keep doing that. And I want to do things that make me happy. You know, the stuff. I want to play games that make me happy, make me excited to be playing them. And that's not really, I don't think, I haven't been very successful, especially lately. I've been struggling a lot to get, like, even the number of views I was getting a few months ago, I'm just not getting anymore. Where did the sprinklers go? There were sprinklers. I saw sprinklers. There we go. Wanted to plop down a few more of these because they're pretty neat. Oh, we do have cactuses. Okay. Oh, it just doesn't expand. Why don't you expand unless I'm hovering over you? That seems really silly. Let's put down a few cactuses, a few cacti, cactuses. Both are acceptable no matter what anyone says. You can say cactuses or cacti, perfectly acceptable. Put them out here. We'll come back and put a few cactuses over yonder as well, just to spruce things up a little bit so that we're not all these bare, you know, empty things with no theming whatsoever. Can we build? No, we can't build there. And then we'll put some back here as well. And yeah, been doing really poorly on YouTube these last week or two. I've gotten on the videos that, you know, are like my favorite game. I've gotten like 8 minutes of views, like really quite terrible views. And I'm thinking about pivoting. So basically, I don't know if you know who this is, but there's this guy and his name is Dan Giesling. He was on Big Brother, I guess, and got famous from playing on Big Brother and winning. I guess he won multiple times. Like, he went back and won again. And he does YouTube and he does Twitch. Now, I watch Northern Lion, who is a very popular YouTuber and that I like really respect and wish I was like him. And he often plays with this guy, Dan Giesling. And Dan's a little goofy, you know, not gonna lie. Some of the stuff he says, he's very silly. And he's not really my type of humor and stuff like that. But there is something about that man that is like, he is like exceptionally upbeat. He never swears. He's a very family-friendly kind of guy. He's very, we've already built one of these. What am I doing? He's very family-friendly. He seems like a really nice guy, like that you could, you know, have a drink with or hang out with or whatever. And he seems like legitimately like he would just be a pleasure to work with. And I recently discovered that he has this podcast where he talks about various aspects of doing YouTube and doing stream, even though he's not like, he never really had done that stuff before. He had just kind of been famous from a TV show. He didn't know what he was doing, but he really loves it, and he puts his heart and soul into it, and he does it all the time. I guess we have to test it before we can open it. I don't really understand why this wouldn't open when I clicked on it. And even though I'm not a huge fan of him, like, he's, again, a little goofy. It seems like his content is aimed at, like, people in their teens. I'm a little older. I'm a little more, it's just different kind of content that I don't really necessarily enjoy. But I picked up his podcast, and in that, he does interviews with people, and he talks to people who do YouTube. And, like, it really made me think about expanding and changing my content, and whether or not I can actually do what I've been doing and be successful at it or not. And it's like, I've just been thinking about YouTube a lot. I've been thinking about how I've been not performing as well as I would have liked. And I think it's time to shake things up a little bit. So we're building this mini roller coaster. Junior roller coaster. And what I learned is that every ride has certain requirements that need to be met in order for them to get their proper excitement rating. If you remember in our last episode, our last game, we failed to get very exciting rides, even though we kind of had like what looked like a nice little ride. And I believe that was because we failed to meet the actual requirements. Now, these are not posted anywhere in the game as far as I know, but if you fail to meet a requirement, your excitement and stuff gets cut like completely in half. So for the junior roller coaster, we need at least a 4 meter or 13 feet drop, and it needs to go at least 16 miles an hour max speed. That's actually very low requirements, so I'm not worried at all about failing to meet that. We're already above where we would we can helix down. Why don't we tilt right and see about helixing down? It's going to be very slow though because we're coming off. Let's do a small helix down and see how much speed it actually picks up going down. Can we go one more? We'll come out. I don't know if that actually counts as a drop or not, so we'll send it back up and we'll drop it down again. And then we'll just wrap into the station, I think. And hopefully our speed is not awful. Why don't we go a little further, then we'll tilt right and make a sharper turn. And since we're tilting the track, it's going to result in fewer lateral Gs. Lateral Gs are what move you kind of to the side of your seat, which is really bad. We really don't want... I think if you have more than like 2 lateral Gs, it starts to reduce your excitement and things. So this is not a terribly exciting ride, but again, we're working mostly in a constrained space. I just wanted to get something down that has big trains, but also, can meet certain requirements. It is extremely slow going down this this helix. I thought it would be faster than that. 27 miles an hour. I mean, that meets the requirements, but this is not a very exciting ride. I think what we want to do is, instead of going directly into the helix, we're going to give it a drop first and then drop it into a helix. Although that's going to screw up where this comes out, so we might not have motion simulator. We might not have medium, medium, medium. It's really not terrible for something that we just kind of slapdash through down. I don't know if that is something that... You know what? I don't think the requirements on this particular park are very high. I think we just want to put out some things. So I don't think we're going to fret too much over maxing out excitement or anything like that. And here, based on this, we can charge like $7 for this coaster. So I think we're just going to do that. Because again, it has a very large train, which means we can process a lot of children in the train. And because the nausea and intensity are pretty low, we'll get a lot of people that want to ride this. So we're going to make the queue nice and big, I think, because this is going to be a real popular ride. We'll go ahead and put this here. Once again, we will hit that with some benches just to cut down. Seeing a lot of vomit. And I think that part of that is because we have so many exit lanes instead of connecting directly to the path. We have actual lanes, and they're vomiting kind of in that area where the sweepers might not be able to get to it in time. We are gradually losing money from our construction and things, but I think we're doing just fine. Why? That kid is looking in his money. I can't afford to escape. Why don't you get out then? Why don't you get out? This is something we ran into in the previous game. What are you kids doing? You're just staring at it? It's a really good value, so you're going to stare at it longingly. Did we ever look at the actual, like, proper price for this thing, by the way? $2? Roto drop? My throat is, I was sick, and I thought I recovered. And it seems like every day when I try to record, my voice is more and more crackly. And I just don't know how to stop that. I drink mostly tea, which is supposed to be good for you. Yeah, this is a really good value, because according to this, I could be charging $18. So why don't we instead charge $12? Sounds great. Boom. Not a lot of riders, though. Why is this so... Why aren't we getting more kids? What is happening here? I don't understand. Where are the kids? Why are the kids not riding? Go to thoughts. I feel sick. I've been queuing for mini golf 2 for ages. I'm running out of cash. Really great, really great, really great, really great. More thrilling. Okay, well, that's why I built the coaster, and this thing is more thrilling. 1 was great. I want to get off mini golf 1. So let's address this queue problem. Yeah, that's entirely too long of a queue for what is essentially just golfing. So we're going to go ahead and replace a huge swath of that with just regular path. And what that's going to do is it's going to free up these children to move on and check out some of our other rides. And additionally, it's going to make them happier, because the longer they're in a queue, the less happy they are. And this is a very long path, a very long mini golf situation. So it's going to take them a long time to process. Hopefully that drives some children to these other rides. We have been focusing a lot on thrill rides. Maybe we should put down a gentle ride or two just to kind of sate the hunger of the less, less adventurous children. So we're going to go ahead and call the episode here. That's the wrong keyboard for the jillionth time. There we go. Yeah, I've just been thinking about, in the podcast, he talks a lot about maintaining and keeping things upbeat, and a lot of my content is very negative, and I just, I've been thinking a lot. I want to reshape the channel a little bit. I want to get away from the Cataclysm Let's Plays and get more into stuff that I really enjoy doing, like RollerCoaster Tycoon, which is silly and fun and no one's going to watch it, but I'm going to enjoy it more, and that's going to make me a much better character for you to interact with. Like, I'm going to be much more happy playing a game like this than I would be playing. It's the whole thing. We can talk about it another time. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I think we're doing okay with the park. And I'll be back with more RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 in the near future. See you next time.